Young and chasing dreams, reaching for the stars, what else?
It up. Yes, no.
I'm tryna love you like a gangster.
They try to stay so close to me that you would think we neighbors. Like listen, not where you supposed to be cause his mama raised him. We had a clear shot on his head, but I think God saved him. You never walked up, hit your man, you probably never.
What's happening, KB?
It's your girl Bree.
It's your girl Kia.
And we're back with another mother freaking video. Shoot, I'm sorry you've been missing a couple of days.
A couple of days, more like a
week.
But you know, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you can see every time we post. And without further ado, let's get into the motherfucking video.
Personally, me, I really like the mukbang kind of girl talk we did, but we both been kind of thinking that we wanted to do something like that again under topics, but instead of talking about relationships, because not everybody's going through relationship crises, we talk about family topics. Cause shoot, to me, family is everything. Like, I'm a very family oriented person. Like, I love my family. Hey guys, been watching. I like to have my family around. I like to be in good terms with my family, but you know, like everybody's family, it gets a little crazy sometimes. So, okay, how do you feel about double standards?
Okay, with like the household chores and stuff, I feel like everybody should be able to get up and clean. Like, you know, I don't care if you're 10 or if you're 14 or 16 or 17.
I don't care if you're a girl or a boy. Get up and clean.
I won't even like, but I hate waking up on Saturdays to clean.
Saturdays?
Sundays. I'm sorry. I just don't.
I'm tired, mommy.
Like,
I'm waking up to the sound of, oh, what a night, what a night, what a... I feel good. I'm listening to that music. I'm just like, I don't want to clean.
I'm dead.
Mom there cooking in the kitchen, talking about I need to come spread out my bed. If you don't let me sleep, call me when dinner's ready.
Facts. But yeah, I feel like girls do more than the guys do.
Cleanliness is godliness, you know what I'm saying?
Cleanliness is next to godliness. Anyways,
you get the point. You happy on that?
Happy on. I feel like a lot of us go through father problems. How do you feel about our mothers not educating us on why some of our fathers aren't there, or mothers who like make their fathers sound very, very bad?
I feel like one thing, and it's really hard to do with kids, especially like your own personal kid, is to separate your own pain and your child's pain. I feel like once you become an adult and you have a kid, it's very hard to deal with two people's pains at once.
Yeah.
Because I feel like adults don't really recognize they're supposed to help their child understand what, like, the emotions they're going through, because they don't really understand it themselves. I feel like you just have to be able to differentiate your pain with your child's pain and understand that, yeah, you know, I went through what I went through and I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but
you know, I went through what I went through and I'm feeling what I'm feeling, but
my child, you know, needs to understand what it is and what it's not, and not confusing her pain with your pain because you're mad. Personally,
My mom has never talked bad about my father. Like, no matter what the situation was, she never found an excuse to say, oh, your dad's this, your dad. Like, she never did that, ever. From my mom, I don't know how it feels. But from other people, I know how it feels to feel like, oh, like, maybe my father is all these things, because that's all that you're hearing. Like, that's all that's coming from me, like, you know? Don't do that, because now your kid's gonna grow up thinking that their father was this and their father was that, when that's not even half of the reason. That's not what it is.
Me personally, my mom never did that, and I feel like even if she did, I would have still had the ideology of my dad, because I'm most definitely a daddy's girl. Like, my dad, that's scary. Like, I feel like I always kind of had this weird kind of relationship with my dad, because like, no matter what the situation is, I'm always gonna love him. I know not everybody's like that, but I feel like even if my mom did do like that,
you'd always have your own opinion on
and that's why I feel like that's what kind of my message is, like, always have your own opinion. Like, have your own opinion based on what you feel and how the emotions you feel about the situation or whatever it is. Have your own opinion based on your own truth. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Your parents, I'm sure, agree with your parents. You know, understand your parents' pain, but at the end of the day, understand that you have your own truth too, and you have your own story too. And your story is not always going to be the same story as your mom or your dad's or your uncles or your aunts. That's you. So understand that, you know, I know what the situation is, but this is how I feel. So yeah. How do you think being raised in a Caribbean household influences your adulthood or your adolescence?
Okay, I find like in the Caribbean, they have to work for everything they have. No matter if you're coming from the rich parts or you're coming from
the ghetto,
you have to work for everything you have. And I feel like
that's why I believe, sorry, not to cut you off, but that's why I believe that Jamaica is such a, like, there's such a, what's the word, that, like, that's why I feel like they're so, like, not even so far ahead, but I feel like not just Jamaican, but Caribbean families are so intelligent. They're filled with a lot of people who have gone through a lot of different experiences, and they work for everything on their own. So everything is self-made, everything is self-understood, everything is self-experienced. Their family is so rich with different types of understandings of the world and life and situations. Like, I've learned so much from different types of Caribbean families, and the way we raise our kids, like, sure, I think that we could use to be a little bit more
understandable
and have more empathy.
Yeah.
But I feel like we also have so much drive and have so much determination to push ourselves to do certain things that I think that's where we kind of, but yeah.
I just feel like with Caribbean households, they're working for everything they have, so they don't really sit down as a family to tell their loved ones like how they feel about them, or this is why I do it for you, like, you know. And that's where a lot of these people grow up not knowing what love is or how to love people, or how to take constructive criticism, because you're always, how do I say it, your feelings are always being downplayed. You're always being brought to a lower level
because of the goal that you guys are trying to achieve.
Exactly. Of course they're thankful for what they have, but I feel like when you get it out the mud, like, you know, that's all you know, like, you know. But I feel like some Caribbean parents, they just need to understand their child. The way that you were taught life is totally different to the way that we're about to be taught life, like, you know. And it's 2021. It's like everything's not gonna always be old school, like, you know. Even though I feel like old school is way better than new school, because old school, like, they have like a lot of intelligent things that actually work, like, you know. Step back a little bit to see what's actually going on. You gotta take your time to understand like what your reality is, like, you know, what you're going through, what your child's going through, how your child's feeling. And that's why I feel like a lot of us kids, we don't open up to our parents, because it's like we're never taught to open up, like, you know what I'm saying? I know when parents are saying, if you're going through anything, or
come
if you
talk
need
to me,
anything,
but
come
it's
talk
like,
to you.
I've
It's
never
like,
done that, yeah.
I can't do that, and I don't want you to make me feel like trash because I'm telling you how I feel about a situation, like, you know? And that's why I feel like a lot of us just keep stuff to ourselves. Half of our parents don't even know who we really are. Like, yeah, you raised us wherever, but you don't know who
With
we
that
are.
being said,
You don't know anything about
I
us.
want to talk about saying, like, what the saying, like, you don't really know me really means.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's one thing to know somebody, but it's another thing to know somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember having the discussion with my little cousin Katia, and we were talking about what it really means to know somebody. And it's like, we know our family. Our family knows us. But to really know somebody, like, I don't really know my family. Like, I hear things and I see things, and it's like to see, like, I never really understood. And when you grow up in a family, you start to understand a lot of things about different people, like,
or why they do what they do.
Yeah, like, and it's crazy that we know each other, but you don't really know me. I feel like, and I know why people kind of take it as an insult to say, like, you don't know me, you know what I'm saying? But as much as an insult, it's the truth. A lot of people that are around me don't really know me.
Anything about you. And it's just like, you only know what I show you. I tell you.
I'm telling you. Like, when you sit back and actually get a chance to observe who I am and how I move and what the situation is. And yeah, with adding on, because you're saying a lot of things. You're talking about this coming to a parent, or coming to discuss a parent. One thing I see a lot of parents do is that a lot of parents like to throw things back in their child's face.
Oh my
God! It's very hard. I want to say it's very hard as a child to confide in somebody and have those moments with a child where they sit back and you're like talking to them, and they go 2 seconds later, we're having you get in an argument, you get mad at me when I throw back things back in my face. How do you expect me to want to confide in you? Whenever I confide in you, you take those moments and throw them back in my face. how do you not know that was a learning lesson for me? How did you not know that that was something that I've been thinking about for so long, been racking my brain about for so long, and I finally found the courage to come talk to you about it, and you just sat there and just listened to me, and it's kind of, I feel played. I feel like you kind of robbed me of my safe space with you.
Like, why did I even bring it up in the first place? Like,
so let me just be the one to tell you, like, listen to your kids, like,
for real.
like when.
And it's not even, not to cut you off, you don't even listen. A lot of parents don't understand. If you just look, you don't even have to have a conversation with your child. If you just look, and that's what I mean when you need to step back a little bit.
For a second.
If you look at your child, their actions show
a lot of things.
Like, if they're hurt, if they're going through something, if they're depressed or whatever, their actions show a lot. You just have to be able to understand why it is that they're doing it. Yes, you may be providing everything for you. We're dearly grateful and dearly thankful for it.
But one thing with that being said, one thing I notice a lot about, like, okay, this is gonna get super deep, but like, one thing I notice about a lot of kids with depression who contemplate those type of things, like, and a lot of their notes and a lot of the things they do, that type of things adds on to the pressure of life. Exactly. And it's like, when you're constantly kind of throwing, like, I do this and that for you, I put a roof over your head, give you clothes. That is not something that you should be throwing people back in people's faces.
That is your job.
Yeah,
like,
as a parent, like, when you brought me into this world, your job is to make sure that I'm fed, I have a roof over my head, I have clothes on my back, because that's your job as an adult. And if you don't think that's your job...
And then, this is what I don't like, right? With that being said, when parents throw things in your face like that, okay, bet, I understand. You have to go through a struggle to get that. I hear a lot of parents who are like, oh, you should be focusing on school, you should be doing this. That is the reason why we want to get a job. We want to get a car at 16. We want to make money at 16. That is the whole reason why, because we don't want to have to deal with the fact that you're saying, I did this for you. Okay,
exactly.
So you don't have to
do it no more.
No.
I'm gonna do it myself.
I'm gonna do it myself.
Heavy on that
one. And you
one.
wonder why your kid wants to move out before they're 18, or you wonder why your kid doesn't have no bond with you because you're so focused. And this is what I'm saying. Yes, you provide. Yes, you do whatever, but you need to. Like, kids don't even want shoes or clothes. They want their parents' love. Like, really. Honestly and truly, they want their parents' love. That's all they want. That's all a kid wants to hear from their mom and dad, I love you.
I'm proud of you.
Exactly.
You did that.
Like,
And you didn't mess that up at all.
We don't hear that a lot from parents. Well, my mom, she tells me every day. But from my friends or whatever, you don't hear that a lot. And it's just, like, it's sad because it's like, damn. You're all I have.
I just took in that we're always saying, like, my mom doesn't do that. But some of your mom, some of your parents, they need to work on that.
Because I'm trying to speak from my perspective and then a perspective looking in. Like,
yeah. I was also gonna talk about. I was gonna say, like, you were saying, like, a lot of things that, like, I don't even need to go back because Shiki was fam. You were saying
crazy.
You said most of the things I was not about to say. Shoot. Oh shoot! I have 2 questions actually. How do you feel about parents having more of an open kind of just like discussion, like letting their child kind of know everything type of relationships? Because I know some parents, they aren't really, they don't think that being open with their kid is something that they should be like.
So with my mom, she keeps it 100 with me. If I'm wrong, she's gonna let me know I'm wrong. She may not let me know I'm wrong right in front of you, but she makes sure that she corrects me. I feel like it's good to let your okay, how do I say, when I was younger, I didn't know the littlest things about my mom. And like, I would always complain and this and that, and it's just like, what has your mom gone through? Like, I never knew anything about my mom until she started opening up to me and telling me stuff that's happened to her before, or she was born in a whole different time than we were in now. And like, when kids don't really think, they don't really take in that before we were born, our parents went through the worst, or our parents went through the best,
because
or whatever.
They're so worried about how they're treating us or whatever.
They don't understand that, so it's just like, damn. I feel like it's good to have an open relationship with your parents, so that your kids could see, like, you're not doing this for no reason. You don't act how you act for no reason. There's a reason why you're doing everything, like, And I feel like that's where the trust comes in. A lot of these kids do things behind their parents' backs because
they feel like they don't trust them when your parent actually went through the same exact thing
as you,
and they can help you. Like, that's what I realized. Having my dad understand, having my dad say, yo, you're not alone. Like, I get it. It's like, it's comforting to me. I was also gonna ask, how do you feel about about parents disciplining their children.
Okay.
A little good whooping
just
ain't
put this
hurt
out.
nobody.
Let me just put this out here. I don't believe like hitting your child is discipline. But the moment you put your hands on your child is when your child starts to they don't want to tell you anything. They don't want to talk to you. It's like, fam, I don't believe that that's discipline. I feel like, okay, maybe taking away their phone, okay, that's a form of discipline or whatever. Or taking away their privileges, that's a form of discipline, because now they understand that there's consequences for the actions that you take.
And the thing, going outside and doing this and that,
Yeah.
is a privilege, not
Exactly.
a right, a privilege.
Exactly. If I say yes, you're lucky.
You
know what I'm
you
saying?
saying?
So I feel like putting your hands on your child is when your child starts to lose all trust in you, like, you know? And a lot of parents don't understand that. But that's the way that they were growing up, like,
And
you
it's
know?
also the fact that when you put your hands on a kid and then tell them that you love them because that's the way you do it.
I love you. I do this because I love you.
Your child starts to associate love with hurt.
Exactly.
Love with pain. And it's like,
you know the scene when you know you're a bad kid when you always flinch.
yeah.
And it's like as soon as you raise your hand or something,
PTSD.
you always flinch.
That's not something you should be going through.
That's not.
You shouldn't be flinching whenever someone raises their hand at you.
And then you wonder why kids don't say anything to you or we don't want to talk to you about anything. That is not okay. I truly believe, listen, if I love you, I'm not gonna hurt you. I feel like when you beat your kids, you hurt them.
And it's like I associate it with the same way where it's like you wouldn't hit your friend,
so
like
don't
hit your child. Don't
exactly.
hit your thing. Like,
what?
you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember, this is so random, I remember watching Zoe and he was talking about like what's his name again? We Love Che and whatever his name is, the other guy, Gutta, and he's like, from the moment they fought, they're not friends anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if they do become friends afterwards, their friendship's never gonna be the same because you put hands on them. I believe that whenever you put hands on somebody, whether it's whooping them, whether it's fighting them, your relationship's never gonna be the same.
And that's a whole level of disrespect for me.
Yeah,
too,
like putting your hand
like,
is like a whole nother level of disrespect for somebody.
Yeah.
There's no respect, and I feel like that's another thing. Respecting your kids. Like, I feel like parents don't ever think that children deserve respect.
Exactly.
I didn't ask to be here. Shoo! I did not ask to be here.
Gotta go.
I never asked to be here. I never asked to live here. I never asked to live in this terrible ass world we live in. Never asked. You brought me here. Did you ever notice how selfish the idea of having kids is? I'm glad my mom brought me here though. Shoot, life is good for now. But I feel like parents don't really notice how selfish the idea of having kids is, because it's like, they're here on your own terms.
Exactly.
You brought me here on your own terms. I have no like type of idea to be here, and you're supposed to help me, guide me, but you're kind of letting me like. So it's like, yeah. I just feel like respect your kids, no matter what age. My dad taught me that respect has no age. You should not be respecting someone just because they're older than you. You shouldn't just be respecting someone because of your knowledge.
Me,
like, respect comes from you. You respect me, I'm gonna respect you. I was learning to just like, whenever I get angry, just.
But here's the difference. You see, you take a deep breath. You walk away. You walk away. That's wrong. Because now you're being disrespectful. But I'm walking away because if I yell at you,
it's gonna be disrespectful.
Exactly.
And it's like, I can't, like, my thing is like, if I know right here in this the state of mind you just put me in, the anger I'm high right now, I can't react in the way that you really want me to.
Exactly.
You want me to swallow all my pride
and be just quiet and let you say whatever you want to say to me,
whether it's disrespectful, whether I find it disrespectful or not. And that's not fair to me. I feel like I really have to just sit back and just, like, me, my walkaway game,
gotta go. I
have to leave. I have to leave.
You need to allow your child to feel what they feel before they can come to you and talk to you about anything. Like, you know, if I already know what the outcome's gonna be, I'm gonna make sure I do what I do so that the outcome is not worse than what it's gonna be. So if that means I need to walk away because what you're saying to me is hurting my feelings and you don't even understand what you're saying to me, I'm gonna walk away. It's not disrespect.
It's just
it's
like
me allowing myself to take a step back before it goes deeper than.
Because since you can't take this step back, let me be the one to do it.
Exactly.
Let me be the one to swallow my pride and be like, yo, let me just take a breath. Let me just understand that she's doing this because she's mad. Which, personally, I feel like everybody needs to take a step back in the situation. Everybody needs to learn to just say, okay, I'm mad, she's mad. There's no point in having a conversation because we're both mad right now. Let's just go our separate ways, take a breather, take a time away from each other, and come back and regroup and say, okay, this is what went wrong.
And parents have to understand, we are you.
We
learn everything from you.
You are my creator.
I don't wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm gonna yell at this
my
person.
like.
No, I learned it from you. So if you see me doing something that you don't like, you need to look at your reflection and say, yo,
Who could I get that from?
How do you feel about parents who are not able to take care of their children and give them up?
Okay, I feel like the most responsible thing, I feel like that's one of the most hardest things you could do as a parent. I feel like, I'm strong on consequences, you know what I'm saying? You accept the consequences, but I feel like that's a very responsible thing to do. Not everybody believes in abortion.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And not everybody believes, bringing a child into this world and adoption or whatever. I believe, the most responsible thing you could do is accept your consequences and say, yo, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like do whatever works for you. If you feel like you need to go and give your child up because you cannot give them the life that they live, I have no choice but to respect that because, hey, it's not my kid. It's not my life. You know yourself the very best than anybody else knows you. So if you feel like, and I feel like that's a very responsible, I want to say it's heavy on responsible because it's a very hard thing to do. People think that giving up a kid is just giving up a kid. Mm-hmm. Birthing it out and giving up a kid. When you grow something inside of you for 9 months, you build an emotional bond with them.
Yeah.
You build an attachment to them because it's like, I'm feeding you, I'm nourishing you, I'm carrying you, I'm taking care of you, I'm protecting you, and then I have to push you out. Do you know how much pain? And then it's like, you get that moment with them and it's like, but I can't give you what you need.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you to somebody who can give you what you need. But
I think there's a difference. You know that show, Black Ink? Sky gave up her 2 kids. And then once they were older, she was able to, reconnect with them. But the older one, he didn't want to talk to her.
Yeah.
They almost fist fought, whatever. And he was saying to her, his name's Genesis, but in that clip, I felt that. Not even that I went through the situation, but what the man was saying, I was like, yo, damn, that's deep. He said, you went in, I was in jail, I had to watch you go get your ass done, I had to watch you go get your titties done, I watched you party all night long, I watched you do this, da-da-da-da, and I'm in here not even with a phone call or whatever, and it's just like,
I feel like that type of situation is kind of weird. I feel like with Sky's situation though, it's kind of weird because it's like, I feel like from the moment she started making money, from the moment that she had a secure place to live in, she had her whole deal with the TV show, she should have been getting in touch with her kids. She should have been coming back and trying to get in contact with her kids. And that's my belief.
She was saying that it was like an emotional thing for her, like a mental thing for her, because she didn't know how to go out and reach out to them. I've been gone for so long, what am I supposed to say? So with that's just an example. We love Sky, don't get
Sky won't, I didn't know.
That's just an example, but I was just looking at it from the guy's perspective. The younger brother, he wanted to meet his mom.
Yeah.
He's been wondering for so long.
But at the same time, I feel like with the older one, I feel like it's more of a grudge thing. I feel like it's at the same time, I really see both sides. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna say I agree with Sky because at the same time, because I love Sky, but I understand where Sky's coming from because it's like she acted on her time, and that's something she had to figure out how to approach and how she should go about it, because it's like she don't.
But one thing she never even though she never called them or whatever, she always kept tabs on them, if that makes sense. She would always check in with the other mother, I feel like there's a difference between giving your kids up when you can't give them the life you want, and then just giving them up because you're just a drunkie or whatever. People who give their kids up just because they have a kid but they don't want the kid, so they just give them up. And
I think that's messed up.
That's disrespectful.
I feel like that's beyond disrespectful. Could you imagine years later your child finding out that you're okay? The ideology is that when you give me up, is because you couldn't give me what I need to give you. That child that's in the foster care, where they're in, and going through whatever they're going through, is always gonna wonder where you are, always gonna wonder where you went through, and always gonna tell themselves, she just gave me up because she couldn't take care of me. Could you imagine telling yourself that for years, on top of years, on top of years, and then coming and finding out that you were fine the whole time, that you're okay the whole entire time, that you were breathing and living life lavish? That would crush you.
Yo, take precautions, fam. Yo, take precautions, fam. Make sure you're making the decision you want to make, okay? Make sure you're 100% on the decision you want to make, because no kid wants to grow up feeling unwanted in this world.
And that's another thing.
But I'm not here now. How do you feel about parents who say to their kids that they're in an accident? Let me just put this out there. Yo, listen to me, fam. I don't give a damn how much hurt you've gone through. Don't ever tell your kid that they're a disappointment. You never wanted them.
That,
I understand. Okay, maybe you really didn't want them, but to hear that from the only person that we knew,
from the person that made you.
What do you mean I'm a disappointment, fam? Yo, we're gonna keep that with us
forever.
Forever. That's never gonna go away. Listen, and parents don't understand. Whatever you say to your kids, yo, that sticks with them for the rest of their life. Okay, so in situations where they grow up and it's time for them to come into an adult, they stumble because they have those words that they're still holding on to, letting them know that that's okay when it's not. Like, you know? And that's why, oh my gosh. I just like, yo, when I hear parents talk so rudely of their child, like, fam, don't do that, dog. Don't do that. Do not do that. Yo, let me tell you something. Don't ever make your kid feel like they're unwanted because of, I don't care if you went through hurt with yo, listen, like we said, we never asked to be here, okay? Don't ever tell your kid you're disappointed in them, or you never wanted them, or there's a disappointment, or they were an accident. Yo, I don't care, fam. And even if that's the real truth,
don't know that.
What? You think I want to be 56 years old and I can't get a job all because my mom told me I wasn't going to get a job because I'm never going to be nothing in life? Yo, we take that to our heart. You guys are all we have. You need to understand that. You guys are all we have. So when I hear when I hear my friends come to me about something, the things that happen in their households, it's just like, damn. It's sad that we have to live that way, like, you know? And it's just like, okay, we're talking from a kid's perspective. We're talking from an adult's perspective. Yes, adults go through things. Adults need time to set back and understand what they're going through. Their adults are always working. Y'all need to take a step back, calm down a second. Like, you know, when's the last time you went out for a drink? When's the last time you went to get your nails done? When's the last time you went on a date with somebody? When's the last time you sat down with your kid and went to the mall or the movies or something,
or even went to go take them out to eat or something?
Like, you know, like, y'all need to, like,
I know we in a pandemic, but we could even cook with you guys or something like that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's just sad that, like, kids gotta go through that, have to hear that, like, you know?
What I was gonna say, I thought she was gonna ask, how do I feel about parents making their kid feel unwanted or something like that, and which ties into adoption and stuff. I remember this is so random. Grey's Anatomy, I know whatever, people don't like Grey's Anatomy, but one thing I learned from Grey's Anatomy, which is so crazy to me, is that I would have hate to grow up like Meredith. Like, growing up like with a parent who spent so much of their life taking care of having them as their last choice or their second last choice. Like, I would have hate to grow up like that, because that messes with your brain. That tells you to put yourself second and third or last because that's all your parents have put you as. So it's like, I feel like, you know, if you can't have the kid, don't have the kid. Put it like that. If you don't, like, you have to be able to think about not just how they're gonna grow up, how they're gonna be fed, how they're gonna be all that. Think about their mental state too, because truthfully, that's what ends a lot of lives early. People's mental states be getting to them, and it's like, you don't even think you're being the best parent because you're giving them everything you need, but are you giving your kid love? Are you giving your kid that? Are you giving your kid that kind of mental state to make them know that they're wanted, that they're cared about? And I feel like that's one of the main things you need to think about before becoming a parent. Are you okay? Is your mental state good? Are you level-headed enough to say that you can take care of somebody else? You know what I'm saying? Depression is real. Depression is real. And
no, that's not no joke. That's not.
Depression is real. Sorry, I laughed about it.
It's not no joke.
Damn, I be going through that too. But it's like,
it's not no joke.
Depression is real, and it's like, I feel like a lot of people are depression with anxiety and with those type of stuff. You feel like you can't have kids, and you can. It's possible, but you just have to make sure to take care of yourself first before you go on and do that.
Preach.
Because it's hard to take care of 2 lives. Shit, it's hard to take care of 1.
Preach.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Just take time and just get yourself good. Look at me. Well, thank you so much for listening to our video. I know we chat too much a little bit, but it's whatever. You guys feel us, you guys understand us, you guys comprehend us.
Yo, let us know if you want to talk more about these, because we like doing these conversations, like, you know.
And I hope, don't listen. Any parents, anybody that's out here watching,
don't take offense.
Yeah, don't take it personal. We are here to help you. We want to help the next nation. Look, even the sun's coming out. Shit, what's happening? Don't take this personal. Don't take offense to it. This is just how we think that we can help you guys not just be better parents, but be better grandparents. Help your kids understand. Help kids understand that this is life. And
us kids, we need to educate our parents too, because they're not educated on a lot of these topics. They don't know why we do what we do.
And parents,
we are who we are.
No offense to cut you off, but parents, your kids are the best teachers.
Best ever.
And you can be your best teachers too if you just learn from your own parents.
Listen, look.
Here. Okay, well.
You already know. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on those post notifications so you can see every time we post. And without further ado, we'll see you in the next video. You already know. We out.
Set you up my mind now. I think